Remember the times when cartoons were fun and innocent? Sometimes the occasional slapstick humor accompanied by a comically large knot on the head. Well, me neither, because for every wholesome SpongeBob and Scooby-Doo, there's always that character that induces an eyebrow-raising moment that makes you go, huh? What the fuck am I even watching? And I know for a fact you guys can relate, especially if you've seen Ed, Edd and Eddy. Because if these three inbred animated freakazoids were real, I would have them locked up in Guantanamo Bay. On second thought, I would exile them to North Korea. Nah, fuck that. That's too loud of a sentence. I would have the rats sent to Detroit.
No, not Detroit!
There's an episode that traumatized me as a kid titled Nag to Ed. And I'm here to recap how wild this shit was. So without further ado, let's get to it. So, the episode starts off with Double D being his typical nerdy self, accompanied by an unenthusiastic Eddie, and Ed who's busy being the goddamn life of the party, as always. Shout out all my retarded niggas, you know. Double D concludes that it is time for the monthly insect expedition and proceeds to head into the forest along with a gang, where Ed gets stuck to a huge-ass spiderweb, having the time of his life. Then there goes Double D talking about, "You're gonna ruin an ecosystem." Like, shut the fuck up, you fucking nerd. I just know you was the type to remind the teacher of the homework that was due in. Suddenly, they hear whispers of their name from voices they don't recognize, talking about Kissing, which has them shook, understandably so, because they can't tell whether they're being preyed on by a couple of baddies or the ugly stepsisters. They quickly rescue Ed from the spiderweb and immediately began to Usain Bolt the way out of there. But turns out, they were being preyed on by the Flash, because these motherfuckers would end up spawning right in front of them. They eventually end up falling into a swamp where they get caught and abducted to the grimiest trenches of Peach Creek by the final boss, Crack Babies. The boys are dressed in robes which belongs to the girls' fathers. Hold on. Those names are starting to make me think they're more likely to be meth babies. Fucking me, one of your dad's names is Butch. Is your father an XL bully? Bro, I swear I've only seen dogs being named that. If you know anyone named Butch, let me start off by saying, that's tough, bro, that's fucking tough. And give them a slap for me, because that shit should be illegal. And if you're a bit confused right now, the Kankers are half siblings, each with different fathers. The boys ask them how they got into these robes, and the girls reply with an attempt to kiss them, driving them into a corner, scared out of their fucking minds. Never in my life have I seen a reverse scaring their hers. Bro, this shit is beyond me. And you know what this girl proceeds to say? I'ma let you hear for yourself.
Go ahead, yell. No one will hear you.
What did he say?
These bitches took a page straight out of Fleet Johnson's book, cause that shit gave the exact same vibes as, I like you and I want you. We can do this the easy way or the hard way. Choose yours. Did I forget to mention that this was the first episode of the show? If the roles were reversed, there would be no such thing as Ed, Edd and Eddy. The girls begin introducing themselves, letting the boys know that they just moved into the neighborhood. And as soon as the boys begin introducing themselves, they cut them off, letting them know that they already know about them. Bro, that means they were plotting on these dudes since as soon as they got there, or perhaps even before. They must have heard about them hustling all over town and thought, damn, they're gonna move us out of trailer parks. This must be who Brittany Renner got her inspiration from. The girls made their way to the kitchen to whip up some dog food, probably seasoned with meth. Look, I don't know what people in the trailer parks eat. Ask Eminem or something. Anyways, instead of getting the fuck out of there, Eddie with his typical hustler's mindset convinces the gang to stick around for the free food. Before the food arrives, they get served powdered milk as a beverage and watch a movie called Fishbowl 2. I'm not gonna lie, this shit looks whack as hell. Fishbowl 2 can't hold a candle to the Itchy and Scratchy movie. As the boys are geeking off that powdered milk, the girls are chefing up straight up diabetes, hypertension, and heart attack, to which the boys end up eating like they ate their hostages. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I would like to call a textbook cartoon Stockholm Syndrome settle. As they're eating, the girls end up getting dressed up for them, literally acting like a real-life married couple, talking about, would you still love me if I was the reason Luffy doesn't become the king of the pirates?
Bitch, shut the fuck up and get me a refill.
Do I look fat in this dress?
I like apples and oranges.
The girls are triggered as this isn't what they envisioned it to be like when getting with the boys. Then they start sprouting bullshit, threatening to leave them if they don't carry their weight. Am I missing something? Or do they not abduct them into their shitty ass trailer park, strip them out of their clothes and forcefully try to kiss them? The girls handle their dirty laundry, scrubs and brushes and make them clean up around the house. Now I don't usually advocate for hitting women with a 1-2 combo, but now is the time to utilize a wild card. Ed! Tap into your retard strength. Do something. You're the same guy who once ate a fucking slide because your shoe had a pebble in it. Eventually, Eddie has enough and he starts raising his voice, making the meth babies cry, talking about, this is the thanks we get. If they were hunters, they would all fall into the manipulated category of nen users. Cause ain't no fucking way, boy. The boys end up checking up on them just for the girls to shout at them to get out, to which they obviously comply. As soon as they step out of the house, these bitches instant transmission outside the door talking about, what about our baby? You owe me child support for little Junior over here. The boys end up skedaddling away without looking back, not falling for the trap card, and rightfully so, cause these bitches be crazy. Believe it or not, these girls were infatuated by them running away. Again, these bitches be crazy. In conclusion, there were a lot of underlying messages that were definitely not meant for kids to catch, such as them referring to the boys as a real man for running away from their responsibilities, which probably stems from their experience of growing up in a broken home. I mean, they all have different fathers. One of their fathers being a fucking dog, by the way, because there's no way you can convince me a human male is named Butch. My take from this episode as an adult, stay the fuck away from these hood rats carrying all that trauma. It just isn't worth it. Oh, and let me not forget, as punishment for their predatory behavior, I sentenced them to 1 year in Detroit.